Look at that timing.
For Transformers.
What a clutch.
Show. I mean, I am just so excited. And I'm here with Lermy and Ajax. How
does he do it?
Good.
Doing great.
Glad to hear it. It's a great day to do great. So we have so much to go over
today.
Day
to
we
do
have
great.
8-10 bonus. We have community news.
I
we
read Dandy's a positive
all of its
dude.
balance and all kinds of changes coming. And then, of course, the Transformers Battle Pass, which I am so hyped to get to. But there's so many good things between us and there that we just got to get rolling. So we're going to start off with 8-10 bonus, which is going to be going live November 2nd. This is the bonus for the cleanup update. So let's start off with balance. It's items. Spectral Armor's getting a nerf. What's going on with that, Lermy?
Yeah, so Spectral Armor is kind of your one-stop shop when it comes to anti-crit. It has been kind of a little bit too good in that regard, where you can just pick it up and that's kind of all you need to do against crit. You know, it kind of feels like for a lot of those characters that are building the crit into this item that, okay, well now I have wasted a lot of gold on this, so we're kind of toning it down just a smidgen, right? It's still going to be that very good niche anti-crit item.
Can't say that I agree with this decision.
Again, the one-stop shop.
Yeah, sounds good. That's actually all of the items for bonus, but we have some.
Can't say I agree with that logic.
Set's getting a nerf. Actually, what's that looking like, AJ?
That one I can agree with. On
this
the other
character,
hand,
you know, runs those ranked queues real hard, and we're even seeing this now show up in non-jungle roles, which, you know, we've seen a little bit in the past, but my man Benny Q made it real popular to be running some non-traditional mid laners even recently. We've seen Cyclone on set in ADC, so just looking to take this character's damage down a little bit. What we're doing is with the spawn of set, decreasing the dash damage. So that is actually like
that's
when
good.
you throw a skewer, that's the dashing spawn of set. The second hit is being decreased, and then since the spawn of set has built-in damage reduction for multiple clones, that's actually going to decrease the damage of the further hits as well. So really what this is doing is kind of taking down that super top end where you just get bursted by getting hit by like 5 perfectly intersecting clones. It's going to take that down a little bit, really trying to keep him a little bit more regulated, because we know Set has a, you know, absolutely incredibly high skill cap. So taking that down a notch, hoping that he can still see some play in the jungle, but kind of trying to discourage him just kind of running
going to affect Set that much.
Sounds good. Next up, Nike getting a nerf.
Something that's going to take him out from him being very strong.
So Nike has been running the solo lane a little bit recently. She just feels very tanky
this is fine as well.
From the late
What's up,
game,
King?
you know, with the mystical male builds and being able to throw a lot of health into her builds.
Nike is
I mean,
quite
health is
strong
just a pretty
right
good
now.
stat all around right now, and Nike is like one of the #1 abusers in that game for that stat. So we just want to make it a little bit less, not good for her to build health, but like even if you are building health, you're going to be putting a little bit less of that into your shield. So we're going to be
To be
taking
fair,
that
we did do a build the other day where we had a 2,000 HP Nike shield.
So hopefully in the late game, she feels a little bit less unkillable.
It was a 6K effective HP
good.
build.
Always
Probably
like
a little
to have
much.
Those fair fights where you have the chance to win.
Probably a bit much.
Cthulhu is also getting a nerf, it looks like, on Descent into Madness. That looking like, Ajax?
Speaking of health, here we have a very similar nerf compared to Nike. Cthulhu's ult does buff his max health quite a
I don't see that much Cthulhu, but I'm not going to complain about a nerf.
Taking that down a little bit, and then
He's one of my least favorite characters,
damage
so
he can do with the Sever attack.
Not gonna
kind of
complain.
like the basic attack of his ultimate. He just has a lot of damage output he can do if you get hit by multiple instances of this. So taking it down a little bit, more so skewing towards the late game. Again, we've seen Nike and Cthulhu kind of running that solo lane, and we're just trying to take them down a notch just as we approach this competitive pro end of the season. Hopefully taking these top picks down will open up the lane to a few more options. And, you know, in case Nike and Cthulhu weren't enough, we've got one more primary solo laner here, nerf, coming up at next on the list.
Yeah, you said it. It's Odin. He's getting a nerf to
now that is a good nerf. I don't care what it is. It's a good nerf.
I mean, Lermy, let's continue the trend. What's with this nerf?
Oh yeah, you love to see
Odin
the
historically
ulti
has
have
been
a cooldown.
hard counter to a lot of characters, I guess,
And a
specifically.
shield
Or even
nerf?
if he doesn't hard counter your comp, you almost
that'll
always
do
want to go
it.
Phantom Veil against
Talk
him.
dirty to me,
And
Ajax.
that just alone will pressure your comp to do something specific, right? To either go into the leaps, go into the Phantom, any of those things. So we kind of want to make that less of something that people have to deal with all the time. We see Odin top banned very frequently because of the threat of that.
Now this is pod
going
racing.
into drafting and competitions and things of that nature. So we just want to make him feel a little bit less threatening in that regard, and also in taking down the shield health from Raven Shout. We want to make sure that is, tampering him a little bit when
it
he
is
gets
a
to that
juicy
late game
Odin
form
nerf.
of being that really
Shield and
beefy
ulti
frontliner
cooldown,
who can keep popping this shield on a low cooldown.
Sounds good. Speaking of big, strong characters, Woojer getting a nerf too. She hard to play against her, man. Those heals are crazy. It looks like Mending Waters is getting a nerf this time. So what's that about, Ajax?
Ooh.
We've been really closely focusing on Woojer.
Shield no
specifically
longer
through
stacks
pro play
with
this year.
itself.
This character has taken quite a few nerfs. We know that that's frustrating some people who are out there who are really
That's a big
dedicated to this
nerf.
goddess, but she's still one of the top picks.
That's a big nerf.
in the entire game, especially at high skill levels. So this
And they
character has
decreased
a
the
lot of
bounce
potential.
range.
After a lot of discussing with the pros and with the balance team, we did look to try to find a few ways to continue to mitigate her in those situations that pros tend to use the most, right? So we're hoping that the average player wouldn't notice this type of nerf that much. Playing her in assault and other modes, arena.
It's a big nerf.
Bounce range not going to matter as much. As well as
Have
the
no
ability to
fear.
stack that
Have
shield.
no fear.
It is a really
This is your
powerful
second ability.
pivot the character can
Doesn't
do
affect you
between locking
spamming
people
your
down,
one button
dealing
for the
damage,
first 13
or
levels.
just focusing really
Have
hard
no
on
fear.
healing
It's
and
gonna be
shielding her
okay.
team.
1-1.
Even Polar Bear Mike, I believe, said it
1-1-1-1-1-1.
once that even when he plays Woojer, he doesn't ever feel like he played any fight 100% perfectly because she has so much decision making going on here. So just taking down that healing and shielding a little bit, making her have a little bit harder time keeping her teammates alive, pushing her more towards the aggression focus on the goddess. And as we're going to continue to strive to get Woojer not out of pro play, but at least down to like a 50% pick ban or something like that, which she has been higher than that pretty much for the last 2 years. So we do owe it to the players to keep striving for that balance point, although it's going to be difficult to hit. I'm really feeling good about this one, though. I'm hoping we won't have to touch it for a while.
And always walking that razor's edge. Never an easy
To be
thing
fair,
do.
she's been a ridiculously strong support. Top 3
Cataclysm.
since she's existed.
What's going on there, Lermy?
So we've been kind of hammering away at this Cataclysm
Nerf him
number over
harder,
the past
please.
few patches,
Harder.
and Gev is still
Harder, I'll
incredibly
do
valued in
anything.
the Pro League, and we're honestly
Harder.
really happy to see that he is, right? Because he's been kind of out of meta for a while, and he's a really exciting character to see played, so we're happy about that, but we still think that this is still a bit of a high number on Cataclysm, so again, we're bringing it down just a little bit.
Pretty big damaging
Again,
number.
happy to see him being played, but
for a
it's
god that has the best supportability in the game. It's pretty big.
And finally, to end this section of balance in the gods, we have Woojer getting a nerf to Bladed Arrow. So what's going on there, Ajax?
Thank you. That's not going to be
this
enough.
god can jump so many percentage points off of anything, really. Really, what we
Not unless they
underestimated
decide
a bit
to
how
nerf
much the
some major
would impact
items.
him. He did go up a bit. His popularity, he went from one of the lowest played hunters in the game to the most played hunter in the game. In like a single patch, which is pretty crazy. Most gods don't jump that far.
Yeah.
We thought he might come up a little bit, but he went up further than we thought. So we're just taking back down the power scaling. I believe this is a straight up revert from a buff we did previously where he's got enough help from the itemization. He doesn't need that 10% scaling. Toning that back down, hoping to bring a few more hunters out into the meta. And as you've seen, with the spectral armor nerf, it's effectively a crit buff. So we are looking into.
We know it's a crit buff, Ajax.
Next,
we know it is.
Patch notes to bring more hunters and more hunter playstyles back into the game.
Awesome. Excited to hear about it. And that does it for 8-10 bonus balance. So,
You hate
that
to
is coming out
hear
November 2nd. You can look
the
out for that.
words
You can also check
crit
the
buff
bonus
right
patch
next to
notes
each
for
other in a
8-10 to
row.
see all
You
of
really
that
do
in
hate
writing if you
that.
feel like you missed anything. But from there, let's move on to the skins that are coming out with the bonus patch. I'm excited. And first up, we have from the Odyssey. The Odyssey Paralyses continues to push onward. And we have Geomancer Persephone. So let's take a look at that.
Oh, yeah.
She's so pretty.
That's a cool
I
skin.
love
love the green.
Emerald jade look. That's so nice.
So
this
nice.
is an exploration in a
absolutely love
new
it.
theme, which I always get really excited about. Creating new themes, even though we have so many, and we keep pushing ourselves to find new ones. So I'm really happy
That's
with
nifty.
the theme
Wow.
for exploring some more, trying something new and different, and I think it turned out great.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I love how elegant it is. I love all of the, like you said, Lermy, just the emerald look is so good. Let's hear the voice on. Let's see what she sounds like.
Let them writhe on the battlefield and fight in vain. They are no match for my army.
And no match
So
they shall be.
elegant.
I am super excited about that. So next up, we have Nightbringer Demon. I always say his name wrong. Soblanke? Is that? I've practiced these names. I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually we say
looks so good.
Gibelonke with a little extra
Gibelonke.
j at the
Are
beginning.
you sure it's not
Got
an
it.
Expel on Q?
No, that's probably it.
Everyone just says X-Bal for short. That's okay.
X
One of
There we
my
go.
favorite hunters, my original
definitely one way to
most played
pronounce
hunter
it.
on my account, getting a demon theme, which is a cool mix-up from his. He's all about darkness, but here we actually have some fire, which is a nice contrast for him, and still a dark theme overall, though, so it plays well into his kit with his moon mechanics.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the ult on this one. I'm sure it's going to be incredible looking. And
think it's
look at
fine.
that. That's so great.
I think it's a little
The little
generic,
flame
but it's
effects
fine.
on his cloak and his shield, and especially on those bolas, man. Look
Are
at
those
them.
skulls he's just whipping around?
Oh my god, they
I
are!
think it
That's
is.
so cool.
That's so
Pretty
good.
metal.
Yeah, it's so metal. I love the teeth and the claws and everything. Oh, it's such a great skin. Let's see what he sounds like. Let's hear the voice.
I gave up my soul for power, and I intend to use that power.
I feel like I'd fight a lot of him in a D&D campaign,
And
though.
I'm afraid of when you use
before
it
I
on
reached
me,
like the real
in arena to
demon.
blind me in the middle of a team fight. So cool. That is awesome. Next up, we have the glitch chest, and we will be getting Bit Builder Vulcan.
Yes.
That's great.
This was
Yes.
another relatively
my
new theme we
gosh.
tried out with Tsukuyomi was the first one we
For
did
sure.
a little bit back, and this is a new take on it with
Absolutely.
a different role, a mage, and a different, more armored up style,
Mhm.
which I think really shows off this theme really well.
I totally agree. The colors are great, and the style. I love the hair too. I don't know.
Yep.
The
Yes.
little pixel flip.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So good.
The
I have
stylized
been-
heads too just are so they get so much character and fun in them. I really like them.
Oh yeah, they really do. And I've been told that they incorporated a lot of retro 8-bit.
Wow, what a
SFX
handsome
and
looking
sounds
skin.
into this skin. So I heard it works really well with it, and it's gonna.
They
sound
probably
really
had to
great.
have some sort of really handsome model in order to make a
So,
skin like
super
that.
exciting. I
And
love
then
the
put
look
it
of
into
Let's,
8-bit. I'm sure.
Let's see what the voice sounds like.
A new level, a new challenge. I cannot wait to see what's in store for
It
us.
is weird though that he's wearing all this armor and I had to be naked.
It
I like to
suits
think
him
of him
so
as
well.
he's the morale booster of the team, of the squad. Tsukuyomi was the kind of protagonist, loner hero, and this is
Talk
the
to
true
Ajax about that
support
later.
backup. He's the tech support. Anytime you need help, Vulcan's got your back.
I couldn't agree more. So next up, and the last skin for the bonus update, we have the Schmexy chest and Candy Shop Achilles. And oh boy. Whew.
Shout outs to the
Hello.
community here.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
How's it
big
going?
shout out. This
Okay.
You rock,
this skin
please
has a-
nerf.
yeah.
Okay, now I know why I had to be naked.
This skin
Okay,
has
so it was
very
actually a
interesting story,
two-parter.
but to cut it,
It was
all
1,
short, it's
2.
a community concept.
Okay, I get it
Thank you,
now.
Jagu Dada, for this one. It's
Got
just,
it.
I mean, look at it. It's fantastic. I love it.
It's been a long time coming.
It's all coming
Yeah,
together.
it sure has. I feel like I've been hearing about this skin for months now. Look
So
at that.
you
Ooh,
chose
he's
this
looking
outfit for the
fancy.
turnaround.
It is, in fact, kind of like a
Outfit
magic
outfits for the
Mike skin.
turnaround?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I do know.
I guess you'll
that
just
this
have to
skin-
play the skin yourself to see him in action.
You'll have to. And if you do play it, I hear that there is a wonderful VXG that is definitely worth checking out. So this is
One of the
definitely one y'all are gonna have
highest
to
production quality special emotes ever, I would say.
So
I have to
Innovation
say,
team really
this
went
is,
above and beyond on it.
It's phenomenal. I hope that every Achilles player in my games picks this skin up because it is just mwah, chef's kisses.
let's hear what he sounds like. Let's put the icing on the cake.
Welcome, welcome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Stripper Achilles is definitely an
The show
interesting
Before we
theme for
started the show
Smite,
today.
for sure. I didn't have that on the
Awesome,
top of
awesome.
my
Only I had
my
Achilles
skin
confidence.
list.
I heard that we get a very brief peek in game. Let's do that real quick.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh,
there-
Oh,
okay.
there it is. That is
You
so
know
many
that
abs.
the meta dictates that you play the more aggressive passive Hercules, so or Achilles.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
of
that's
course.
the
This is what
meta,
I would
right?
expect.
Oh, he's really. He's
Here's
really
his,
getting it.
special
I'm a
emote.
genius.
BXG.
My goodness.
So y'all can look forward to
I'm a
that
genius.
in game, coming with the bonus patch again, dropping on November 2nd. Get in there, bring the fear. So now we have some community news, and there is a lot to talk about. First up, the reaping is going on right now. It's still going strong, and we still have plenty of events. So currently, if you get 3 first wins of the day, you're going to win a Halloween
Yes,
avatar.
we also
That
did
goes
some
until
motion
tomorrow.
capture.
So, get in there
Yes.
and do that. Get those 3 wins of the day knocked out, so you get that awesome, scary free avatar. Let's look at it. Horrifying. Yeah, it made me unsettled to look at that.
I hate
earlier
that.
today and win it, but either way. After that, from Friday until Sunday, so this weekend, we are having a gem storm. So the reaping is bringing the gem storm. So make sure you.
If there's
get
any
in
way we could switch to a
and,
different screen,
play
that'd
during
be
the gem
cool.
storm as well this weekend. Make sure you slot in some Smite
Nifty.
time. And finally, there are a few contests actually Halloween themed going on in our Discord.
Swear to God, if she blinks,
and
I'm
there's
outta
a,
here.
horror story one going on alongside this, which we are super excited about, a pumpkin carving contest. So for those of you that are interested, you can still submit until 11:59 p.m. EST, October 29th. So deadline's coming up, but make sure you get in there, carve your Smite pumpkin, and submit for a chance to win a bunch of awesome prizes. So again, that's in the official Smite Discord. Make sure you hop in and check it out. There'll be plenty of people to help you understand the rules and see what you got to do once you get in there. But super exciting. Past that, the Bob Ross bundle is actually live right now. So until
Again?
October 31st to celebrate Bob Ross, the bundle is back. So we're excited
like
for y'all to be able to pick this
Bob
up in
Ross
game. If
birthday
you missed it,
weekend
it
or
hasn't been
something?
around for a while, and it's only going to be here until the 31st. So make sure that if y'all want a happy little tree as a friend, make sure y'all get in there and pick
It is
one
his
up.
birthday?
The
Okay.
skin is absolutely amazing,
Okay.
and it's
Look
worth
at that.
becoming a Sylvanas main for.
How does he do it?
Another great thing to mention is that the current Prime Gaming skin out right now is Krang Jingtian. So go get that. It's again with Prime Gaming. Just go and claim it, and this awesome skin is yours. It's like the only skin I'll
Krang.
use for him right
Prime
now. So,
Gaming. Free
super
Smite
excited for y'all to be
skins,
able to
free
get that.
subs to the
And
Twitch
that's
yes
going to last
community for
we
an
still have a while
ad-free
for this,
experience.
But on November
Wow,
11th,
what a
you're
deal.
also going to be able to go into Prime Gaming and claim the Retro Raphael Loki skin. So
God, I
as
hate
if
that it's a
one
Loki
awesome
skin 'cause
Teenage
it's
Ninja
so
Turtles crossover
freaking
skin
cool.
wasn't enough. There's another one coming.
Such
Make
a
sure you
bummer.
get the one now, and make sure you keep your eyes
God,
open
it's
in November
cool.
so that you can get this one as well.
What's up, Osiris?
Because they're just so great. I don't know why you wouldn't want them. Finally, in community news, group stages for the SPL begin actually this weekend. They begin on
It is
Friday.
this
They're
weekend.
running all weekend.
Okay.
And they will return next weekend as
What's up,
well. Again,
Synchronizer?
starting Friday. So we've got a bunch of best of fives going on. It's going to be super exciting. Make
Okay.
sure y'all are tuning in on Twitch over the weekend and catching the hype. 'Cause
They're
there are gonna
all
be a
best of
lot
fives,
good
huh?
games. So from there, let's move into quality
Okay.
of life. I hear there are some spicy quality of life changes
What's up,
coming.
Terb?
Starting
Friday,
with a
Saturday,
new ranked
Sunday.
conquest draft system. Ajax, I'm going to pass
No
the way
way.
to you on this one.
Are we going full League
All
of
right, so now that
Legends?
we're talking about the main patch, bonus patch is all wrapped up.
Are we doing
The
it?
first thing in the main patch is the new ranked conquest draft system. So this is a long time community request. Getting it in this patch in 8.11. What it's going to do is allow everyone on the team to get a ban. Or everyone on both teams
we're
gets a ban.
doing it.
You're going to get 10 total bans. One
Yeah!
for each player on the friendly and enemy team. Everyone's going to lock in their bans.
Nice!
And then all the bans will be revealed afterwards. Now, this does allow duplicate bans. So if both teams ban the exact same 5 gods, you will only have 5 gods banned for that match. But a lot of players over the years have been really excited to be have more agency over their lobbies, so they'll be able to ban their own, ban the gods that they don't want to play against, as opposed to relying on just one player to do
It's a
it.
little awkward.
And they're also going to be able to suggest which bans they might want their players to, their teammates to ban, or which
It's still
picks
good.
they plan to pick.
It's still
Which is a
good.
feature we had in the game for a
So.
little while, but did remove. So we're bringing that back. And all of this also comes with, tons of other changes. You really want to go read all this text. I know there's a lot of text flying by here.
There's a
I
lot
don't
of
want
text
to walk
flying
through
by.
it all super specifically because there's just a lot of details, but it is a generally well-known ban system that is used in the MOBA space and other competitive game space, so people are familiar with it.
He had
There
a
are
meeting.
couple
He had a
other,
meeting
you know,
before this
quick
patch notes.
to be made.
Don't say
One is
League of
that
Legends.
there's
Don't
only
say
gonna
League of
apply
Legends. Don't say
Conquest,
League of Legends.
not the other ranked modes. This is only going to apply to ranked. This is not going to be changing pro or competitive play at all. They're going to be continuing using the previous ban system. You will be able to have access to both of these ban systems for your custom matches. So if you want to run a match like a ranked system,
Nice! We can do it for our custom games
pro
too.
Scrims, you'll still continue using the exact same options you do right now. You don't need
It's
to change it.
awesome. This is the best change in this patch for sure.
We are changing some timings and some phases.
This is great.
One other really big important note to make on this is there will be no bank time anymore. As we're going for a faster ban phase
Cool.
and one with
That's
more
fine.
individual focus.
Yep.
You only get the time allotted to you to make your pick or your ban. There's no more bank time. What we noticed was in many ranked lobbies, people were just kind of, someone was up getting a drink or going to the bathroom and just letting all the bank time run down. It makes a lot of sense for competitive teams because they might want to take a certain pick to discuss in a lot more detail than other picks. That's the intended use of bank time. Generally not what happened in ranked matches though. So there's no more bank time. Be sharp, make your picks, make your bans. You'll get through the lobby real quick.
I was getting some
everyone will
G
be able
fuel
to
for sure.
Participate in the banning process. Should be really exciting. Should speed up the lobbies. Get everybody to have an impact on
Well,
it.
this is a great set of changes. This makes me very happy.
Whole bunch of stuff there.
That makes me very happy.
Make sure to check out the update notes, the 8.11 update notes. All of that information is listed, so you can go through and really pick it apart
Also,
and understand the whole
you're
process
welcome.
if you feel like you missed
You're
anything.
welcome, community.
Yeah, it's a
You're
big
welcome.
change,
How
so
long
that's
have we been
exciting. Y'all
complaining
can look
about
forward to
that?
coming
At
out with the
least
8.11
6
update.
months.
And the other quality of life change we have here is actually an update to the
really
way
nice.
I believe relic timers work. So what's going on there? Or the cooldown.
Another
Yeah,
long
so-
time request.
Oh, somebody was talking about this just the other day.
Sorry, Lermy, were you going to
get
jump
it.
into this one? There's not too much
Yeah.
to
Oh,
share
Yeah,
about
I mean,
it. It's
I
just-
can.
It's a
it's
good
pretty
quality of
simple
life
change.
change.
Basically,
It's a good one.
for a long time, people have been wanting to know, what are the relic timers of my teammates. And so now all you really have to do is press the tab button, and if anything is off cooldown, it's going to look exactly the same. But if it's on cooldown, you will see the number on top of the relic as it would look like in your own bar. So it's going to be great for communication. Now you'll actually be able to
really
see
good
if,
for communication.
Oh, well, their beads weren't actually up. What could I have done there? Type of deal.
Right. Lets you make decisions for re-engaging. If you just did a big fight and then people spread out and you're
Some
not
good
sure if
features.
your teammate wants to go back again, quick check of the tab screen. We still have relics. Good time to fight. Or in that next engage, especially when you're laning with someone, or if your support rotated, they come back to your lane. You're not really sure if they might have used a relic when they were roaming to mid and coming back to duo. Those are the types of things you can check, and then you can make better informed decisions on your gameplay based on what the potential of your allies is. Now, we won't be showing you enemies for obvious reasons, but this is going to be allies only.
I'd imagine
and,
not.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That'd be a pretty big
they've been
change
asking
to
for
the
it for a
game.
long
If
time,
you
so I'm
see
glad we could-
enemy relic cooldown.
I'm happy everybody's gonna know that my blink is up, so I can blink in there as Ares and get off the cheesy chains. So I'm excited for that. So from there, that's quality of life. Let's move into some of the map changes coming with the 8.11 update. Starting off with Corrupted Arena, it looks like Corrupted Arena is coming back. So is that true?
Yeah, everyone's favorite knockback mode.
Yeah. So that'll be coming back.
Yeah, it'll be its own queue. It'll also be customs. It's just for fun. No other complicated systems or anything coming for it. Just I know people love this mode. It's great to bring back at this time of the year. It's kind of been a tradition for us, and it's exciting to try the new gods in it. Gilgamesh is very good. Who else is really good?
For sure.
Oh, Gilgamesh is good. We tested Morgan Le Fay. That one was a little less good than I thought. And I don't know. Spoilers alert. There might be some more gods coming out that impact this mode in silly ways, but we'll see. We'll see about
Wow,
that.
Guess we'll just have to see.
spoiler on the loose.
I know. Y'all guys are even getting extra stuff on top of everything. So Conquest is getting one simple change. It looks like to the amount of time at the start of the match. What's going on there?
Yeah,
So a lot of this was
Okay.
we went and changed the start of the camps a couple patches ago
Honestly,
to make sure that
the extra
people were
5
getting to
seconds will
waves
be
on
nice.
time. And so basically people were, a lot of people are getting adjusted to this change, but some people still will find themselves being like very much on that knife's edge of, oh gosh, am I gonna be late to
I've
lane? So
for
we're just
sure
adding another,
never been
I believe
late
it
to
is
the
5
buffs
seconds onto
because
the
I
beginning
came
of the match
back a
just to
little
make
bit
sure that
late.
everyone still gets to the
So-
place where they want to be on time, and everyone's exactly where they need to be.
It's
to start,
also
so it can mess up
technically
anything
a
like that.
partial buff for Arachne to help her
Awesome.
easier
Love
get
to
3
hear it.
spiders
Always
out.
a little more time,
So-
especially for me, who I'm like, oh, what do I buy? So finally, in map changes, it looks like we have a long-awaited update on Slash for y'all. Ajax, how about you lay that one down for us?
Yes, so
Hey.
we do want to just share some messaging today. That's all we're going to be sharing today.
Some
And that is
messaging.
that Slash is going to be moved to launch in 9-1 with the new season of Smite. We really appreciate everyone's patience. We know you guys are very excited for this mode.
We were lied to.
We know the Smite players want it, but we want to take our time. We want to do it right. So it's going to be launching in 9-1 as just another big kickoff to celebrating the new season.
Drat.
Oh yeah, new season is going to have so much hype with it, and that's
Alright.
just cherry
No
on
new
top
game
of the hype
mode.
cake. So
Not for
also,
now.
and that covers map changes and 811.
You gotta wait for
so
it.
let's just move into general balance. Let's move into items and gods. Again, 811 is coming out November 16th. I don't know if I actually said that before, so look out for that. November 16th is when we're going to get all of this content, the quality of life and map changes we just spoke of, and the balance we're about to speak of. And starting off, we have Death's Toll getting a buff, kind of to both of its powers. What's that looking like, Lermy?
Whoa!
Let me get a quick
Yeah,
aside in here
so-
real quick before we go
yep,
into this
go ahead.
item, Lermy. Sorry, we had a couple notes we prepared for just to talk a little bit about the upcoming plan for the next few updates, right?
okay.
We are approaching
Yeah.
the World Championships.
Sure.
Usually for the World Championships, we try to be a little more careful with our balance
talked
changes.
about this quite a
that's
bit on
mostly going
stream.
to apply to the next patch show after this one. This is 811. We
Exactly
still
what
have
we talked about.
812. For Worlds, we'll be played on 812. So with 811 here today, we are going to get a few more spicy changes. We do have some big god changes here, but after that, we're going to try to be a little more careful, a little bit more reserved, focusing on things that are pro issues, even more importantly than casual issues. Although, generally we try to take both into account, but towards the pro season, we tend to skew a little bit more towards pro. And really making sure that we set ourselves up for a fun meta for World Championships, or at least some crazy innovations and surprises to come up at the World Championships. So today, a lot of exciting stuff. We'll probably be reacting that stuff into the next bonus and an 812, as well as just trying to round out the edges, get everything in a good spot. And then of course 9-1, we're gonna turn everything upside down again. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but for now we got to be serious.
Oh yeah.
All right, go
I
ahead with that
eagerly
first
await
buff.
the new season,
Okay,
turning
go.
everything upside
Back to you,
down. It's
Lermy.
the most fun time to play Smite.
All right, so Hunter starter items have been in a bit of a spot recently.
fair,
where
there's a pretty
Hunter's
big
Kell
buff.
kind of feels like
20 power on
the
Death's Toll?
best thing to be. It kind
What's
of has
up,
a little bit
Valerie?
of everything. We saw Boma's Dagger come into the mix a little bit to
That's a
mix
big
things
buff.
up, but we want to make sure that the other Hunter starter items are feeling good as well. We want them all to be as competitive as possible, but again, some of them are better at things than others. So specifically for Death's Toll, we're going to be increasing both the physical and the magical power to kind of give it a little bit more oomph when it comes to that healing that you get. We just want to make sure that this kind of has its own little
That's-
niche, and its niche is going to be more in the power
Definitely
direction.
some oomph. Yeah,
Got it.
Death's Toll Cherry looks a little bit
Nothing wrong with
more
a little more power.
enticing
Looks like
with that
Gilded
cherry
Arrow
for
is also
sure.
getting a buff to its basic attack damage. How about that, Ajax?
Very similar reasoning as Lermy mentioned for Death's Toll. We're still seeing
Okay.
that
Gilded
ability
Arrow
hunter
Cherry
meta
also
kind of
looking
take over, and
interesting.
we're also still seeing the Cowl start. We nerfed Cowl a little
Okay.
bit, didn't really do much changes, as well as the assassin items getting slightly toned back. They're still in a much more powerful state than they were before the big assassin buff. But we want to bring open more options for hunters. We want to bring back the possibility of doing that attack speed build or potentially a crit build. So here we're looking at Gilded Arrow. We're looking at the basic attack power because we know that the gold scaling is a very powerful feature.
Those
We
are
do not
pretty
want to be
big
buffing
buffs
that.
to
Being
both
able
of
to get
those.
too
I
much
mean,
gold is already really
those are
strong.
definitely
And,
interesting changes
we're saving
to
all
make
the
them
crit
more
and other
even,
sort of
you know?
stats for the later upgrades. So this felt like a very reasonable stat to do in the early game. Make that Gilded Arrow really feel worth it.
What
to
is
buy
this
it.
like
And, I
thumping
guess kind of
background
a,
music they got going for the
mystery
patch
Jormungandr
notes?
buff as well, as everyone tends to like to play him with this item. So
Feels like
good
I
luck,
should be like
those
versus
auto
you,
attacks.
big snake players.
grinding like an ARPG right now, hacking and
Next up,
slashing.
Benevolence. Kind of getting a shift. What's going on there, Lermy?
So when this item came out, it was kind of mixed reception, or people thought it wasn't going to be too good, but that it actually was good. And so people have kind of warmed up to the idea of, hey, this item is actually pretty cool and we can get it to work the way that we want it to. But previously it had a caveat where if you were already full and none of your allies were hurt around you, you couldn't distribute any of those stacks to get the gold that you needed. So now we made the adjustment to where any stacks that you would be gaining will just automatically go off, and you will be getting that gold that you would be getting from those stacks. And to kind of counter that, we're also dropping the health down just 25 to make sure that, because this would be just a straight up buff, and because Benevolence is already kind of in a good spot, we want to kind of temper
now that I see that, that's actually very interesting.
With kind of a little bit of a drawback.
That's extremely hard to
like we've talked about. It's really that razor's edge, walking that balancing line.
See how important that is on
next
paper.
Up, Vampiric Shroud.
That's very interesting.
Looks like a buff to me. It looks like some power.
Very interesting. Yep, that's test.
We've shifted this item all over the place this year. We did see it briefly take over the solo lane.
Vamp Shroud's got to change every patch.
Put a stop to that.
All year long.
Mid laner's been a little disappointed that it's not as much of an option for them anymore. We do want to keep this as a fringe mid laner option. Generally okay with it in the solo lane. We just don't want it ever to take over solo lane. So just looking back to bring back a little bit of power here.
If it's supposed to be a fringe mage item and only okay in the solo lane, then what exactly is it for?
Make that item a little bit more fair and potentially bring open a lot more gods to the mid lane pool, especially in casuals. You know, gods like Anubis and Zhonghui, which we've seen Zhonghui even played in pro matches. So a lot of interesting options that could happen here.
Awesome. Excited to see him.
Just for Gooby.
Next up, Sigil of the Old Guard has some
Anubis
changes
says,
coming
"Give
to
me."
it. What's that looking like, Laramie?
So last patch, if you guys remember, we did a change to the tier 1 sigil to make it feel a little bit more valuable in solo, gave it a little more power, a little bit less on the defensive stats.
We're feeling it.
So now we want to make sure that those upgrades kind of follow suit and feel equally as powerful, so that, you know, you can go into this item that is now a little bit better in the early game, but also you're not kind of trapped into going items that don't feel as good later. So basically for Sigil, we are giving it 5% damage mitigation always, and then we're also going to increase the duration of the passive buff to make it a little bit easier to carry over that mitigation between fights.
Which, to be fair, nobody bought. Everybody bought the other one.
Still, that amount is super, super impactful in a lot of situations, so hopefully you guys are going to try this item out and just feel how awesome this can be.
And to continue that, Infused Sigil also getting some changes?
Don't you dare buff
Exactly. We're looking at this item and, you know, we're going to make it explode. That's what this item does, right? And we want it to do that. We want it to be impactful. So we're also, as you know, Infused Sigil is the tanky option, or Old Guard is the tanky option. Infused is the damaging option. We want to make sure that
I want all of those guys earlier today
being aggressive
that said Sigil isn't solo lane meta.
Instead of just having to build full
to
tank,
absolutely
this is one way to do that, where you can
eat these words
pretty much
down
a ticking
below.
time bomb running around. Especially if you stack
just eat them.
You got, you know, other
you literally curse
effects, like
all of us.
Shield,
every single one of
really
us.
Cool comboed together. And now with Infused Sigil, it's going to be doing more damage and triggering more offense. So, a really interesting option.
Look what you've done.
We haven't quite ever seen this item be picked up in a competitive sense yet. I'm wondering if this will finally be the way to do it.
Holy!
Guess we'll have to watch as we get get to the games past the 16th. So it looks like we have kind of a similar deal where
4 to 3 on the stacks and more damage.
On a lot of changes. So which one of y'all wants to dive into kind of this? Looks like a trio of combined changes.
Wild.
Yeah, so I can kind of talk about Warrior's Axe and what our general plan is, and then AJ can go into the specifics. But basically, Warrior's Axe is kind of getting a similar treatment to Sigil, where we want to make it a little bit less defensive and a little bit more geared towards the offensive.
It's a little interesting.
A lot of solo laners have expressed that it is way more fun to play those aggressive, in-your-face kind of fighting matches in solo versus kind of sitting back and waiting and watching. So we kind of want to encourage that by shifting these items to be more in that direction. So I believe that we are putting power onto this and dropping down the protections a little bit, if I remember correctly, and kind of similar treatments as well for the upgrades. But in general, we just want to make solo lane feel a little bit more aggressive, in lane specifically.
Yeah, well said.
Awesome.
For Warrior's Axe, Sundering Axe, and Hero's Axe, we're adding physical power and magical power to all of them. They're going to lose some stats or have some stats nerfed to compensate for that. The passives are not being changed on any of the axes.
Right?
So we've written the items out on the patch notes in their full form. Since there were so many stats being added and subtracted, we've actually just written out the item in its full form, and then we've also provided a change log, so you can go and see that on the written patch notes. It's kind of whichever way you prefer to think about it. Okay, here's just what this item does, or here's what
increase the cost, remove health,
for Warrior's Axe, you see the cost going up,
protection,
health being removed,
I mean, that's a pretty
protections being nerfed,
that's a pretty
and
significant
physical
shift.
And magical power being added. We wanted this item to be usable by Guardians and Warriors in that solo lane, or potentially whoever.
Oh, it's interesting as a Guardian item.
Sundering
Because
Axe
Guardians
is going to
can't
be the more
use the sigil. Very
upgrade.
interesting.
So
though.
that one is going to have a higher
Very
power.
interesting
It's
from
going
a
to be
Guardian
removing
perspective.
Its 250 health. So you're going to see no health. You're just going to see protection, power on this item. Passive is staying the same. Hero's Axe is actually already the very defensive one. We are keeping that one defensive. And
removed a lot of HP.
Just doing a slight increase on the protections to make it even more tanky as a tanky option. So excuse me, I misspoke earlier saying we put added power to everything. Not adding power to this one. This one's going to continue as the tanky one. This one is also surprisingly underrated. This saves lives. This passive saves a lot of lives. But
there's a lot of changes over there.
Do that damage, and we're providing that option as well. But Hero's Axe as an interesting option, or potentially even a Warrior support option. A lot of potential in this item too.
That'd be too hard. That'd be too hard in your gold. You never get level 20.
A lot of changes, solo lane, and like you said, maybe even
as much fun as it would
be. Have a lot of fun things to play with coming up. So
you'll never get level 20. You'll never get that upgraded.
Lotus Crown getting a nerf to the cost. So what's going on there, Lermy? Why that?
Yeah, so Lotus Crown is like a first item buy for most of your standard healer characters, whether that's your Sylvanas, Yamojas, Terras, Hells, all those characters can go this item very early because it is incredibly cheap. 2050 is one of the cheapest items in the game, I believe, so we just want to tamper that early game spike that you get from all the protections and the passive by bringing up that cost just a smidge, 100 gold. You'll be having to stay a little bit longer to full buy into this item. So we don't want to completely get rid of our healer characters, especially with Sylvanas just coming back with this new passive. I mean, we love to see him getting play at last. Very nice. But yeah, we just want to make sure that this is tampered just a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, I hate to get rid of Sylvanas. We need more Bob Ross on the battleground. So next up, right, Mystical Mail getting a nerf as well. Looks like cost and the physical protection are getting touched. What's going on there, Ajax?
Okay.
A little bit more very popular item in the solo lane right now.
A little bit less physical protection.
Things, right? That extra damage can really put the pressure on gods that are already high pressure, or it can take a god that has generally really bad clear and give them much better clear. So
it'll still be a good damaging item.
It does do a lot of damage, which we also like. However, it just feels just a little overtuned, so we're not trying to make any major shifts in this item's goal. We're just kind of
kill Mystical or
careful
anything,
changes, a little bit of decrease in the protections, a little bit of increase in the cost. Really, we just don't want this item to become a super passive item. We don't want this item where people just pick super full tank Guardian builds and just use this to kind of stand in the wave and clear it without fighting much. So that's potentially what is available to players.
That's what I'm saying, Misty.
We do want this item
the background
to do the
music
does,
has been
just
pumping.
Making that specific strategy a little less effective by making it cost more and have less protections.
Got it. Sounds good. Book of the Dead getting a buff as well. There's several things.
We're certainly not going to nerf it. When's the last time you saw it be built?
Mana shit, like
CCR.
Yeah, so this item is super exciting. We haven't really seen the book build B meta for a while, so we kind of want to give Book of the Dead a little bit of help because we feel like that's kind of core to that build, and it's also very defensive. We kind of wanted to lean into that defensive nature by giving it the CCR, by increasing the mana contribution to 30%, which, I mean, those shields are very helpful, you guys. Do not underrate this shield because it saves lives. But also, we wanted to give it a smidge of power to kind of make it that, mid to late game, like, power spike.
That's a change that I look at, and I think to myself, that might not make it to live client.
Maybe bring back the book build, who knows? Maybe see a little bit of splashes here or there. I'd love to see this kind of even take a little bit of a route towards Guardian solos. Like, maybe we see that in the future of this item. But yeah, a little bit more defensive for this item. And
all of those changes all at once, that might not make it to live.
Sounds good. Library opens November 16th.
That's a massive
Staff of Mirrodin also getting a buff. Looks like decreased cost and increased magical power. So what's going on there, Ajax?
Yeah, so this one, we reworked in
That makes it a lot more enticing for the raw
lost their
stats.
minds. They were like, this is going to be the most insane OP item ever. Look at me on my Hebo. Look at my 1 cooldown. It's now 0.5 second cooldown. This is crazy. I'm like, okay. We nerfed it a little bit in PTS, and then pretty much nobody built it. I think people just got a little too overexcited, a little too worried, and us always taking community feedback very seriously. We were like, okay, we'll nerf it. But now that we've had it some time in the wild, we haven't really seen much play from it. We do want to buff it. We are learning our lessons that we don't want to buff that passive back. We know that's.
I mean,
really
it gives you pen
already.
and cooldown, so like
its base stats and its
from a raw
cost
stat
to make sure that it
perspective,
fits well into builds, and that a lot of mages I think can utilize this item and be really interesting and really fun. And it's got a lot of clarity improvements than the old version had.
Build
and fix potential.
4th item or so.
So I'm still feeling good about this item. I'm glad to see us get this.
Could be a good stat fit.
And I think there's potential for this item to show up big in the World Championships. But
could be a good stat fit with that.
Take your word for it. I'll keep my eye open. Looks like Fail Not also getting a buff to the critical strike chance. What's going on with that, Lermy?
Yeah, so this one kind of circles back to our earlier Hunter buffs, especially kind of going into that Gilded Arrow idea where, hey, maybe crit is a little bit more viable. We're putting a little bit more crit chance
is secretly
onto the base of
a
Fail
very
Not
good
to make it so
item
that this
right
item is
now.
a little bit less dependent on you having to go 2 or 3
I want it on the
even
record
other crit items
that
in
it's
your build,
actually a good
depending
item
on,
right now that
what you
doesn't get
opt to
picked
go
up.
into.
And with
Just
this
making it a
buff and the
little bit more
nerf to
feasible
spectral
go this
armor,
item on its
guarantee
own,
you're gonna see Fail
and
Not
being able
all
to
over
use
the
that
place.
sweet passive,
Guarantee
because
it.
I kind of miss that. I miss seeing the King Arthur. What was it recently with the Fail Not passive swinging in with the crit? I think that was this past weekend.
I crit an opponent while I was playing Anubis the other day because my ally had this item. And
Ability-based hunters already pretty good.
Yeah, I believe this is also
that can utilize Fail Not really nicely.
Yes, I think so as well.
Which our players like to see because they think we won't change our minds, but we're open-minded.
Like Medusa.
Okay.
True. We're always listening. If it's going to be better,
and abilities.
we're there for it. So finally for items, which man, it feels like so many items, but the last item in this block is the Executioner is getting a buff to the physical power. So what's going on there, Ajax?
That shouldn't
Now
change
we know
that.
this item is one of the best items in Smite history, has been for many years, but fallen out of favor between some nerfs and some other item buffs. We're being very careful with the amount of penetration and cost and stuff like that, and attack speed. We've been trying to shave down on attack speed on a lot of items as well. So after ruling out those stats, physical power makes the most sense to give this item a little buff. Try to bring it back. Make sure it's applicable in a lot of builds. Make sure there's multiple hunter builds that are
Anonymous
that are possible.
bought 2,500 gems from.
All in all, I think an exciting buff. Although a small one, it's like 5 power. People might look at that. And
Are
be
the
like, I'm not sure what that's
Transformers
gonna do
attacking
with
Ajax's
hunters and how
home?
razor thin those DPS margins could be between different builds.
Oh, it was the Rapture.
This might be something that makes or breaks
makes
a whole
sense.
new meta of hunters. So
He's
we're
getting
excited to see this
raptured.
come back, and between this and crit and all the ability items, hunters should have a lot more opportunity and a lot more variety than we've seen in the past few updates.
Awesome. Well, that does it for items in the 8.11. Let's move on to gods. We have
It's the
plenty of
data
gods to
miners.
talk
They're
about,
coming
plenty of
through.
changes here. Starting with
They're
our newest
coming
addition,
through.
Kleena getting a nerf. It looks like to Phantasmal and tearing the veil. What's going on with that, Lerman?
Yeah, so Kleena has hit the battleground last week, and she has been
Somebody's
insane
got
so
something
far.
wild
A lot of you
happening.
know that I like to play the new god up to rank 10 almost immediately, and we have a lot of data as well to kind of back up the stats. But we definitely think that she has released, a little bit strong.
little
We
strong,
like to go
yeah.
very gentle on these nerfs with the new gods because we're still having people learn their potential. We're having people learn how to play against them.
Little
So
strong.
again, we just want to make sure that we are taking
Yeah,
it
they
nice
didn't
and
nerf
slow
any
and
of the
steady
jungle items, which
so
is
that we
wild.
don't push it too far. So basically, we're making this Phantasmal nerf make it so that if you go in the wall and very quickly out of the wall, you're barely going to feel a difference. But for those cleanup players that are staying in the wall for longer periods of time, you will be feeling a pretty significant increase in how much damage you're taking. So hopefully that gives you a little more counterplay potential against a Kleena that dips into a wall. If you can force her to stay there for a long time, she's coming out pretty hurt. So keep your eyes on that one. But secondarily, Tearing the Veil, her ultimate, is going to be just doing a little bit less damage when it comes to that initial hit. The scaling is going down, and the tick scaling is also going down a little bit. So just a little bit less burst when that rift is torn right open.
I like my options, Bandy. Yeah.
That we did do this in the main patch. We have to make decisions about the bonus patch very quickly. We wanted to take some more data at Kleena before we made that call. Kleena actually launched at very near 50% win rate, which I know is probably surprisingly low in a lot of people's minds after playing her now. But we did see a surprisingly sharp increase on her learning curve. You know, some gods take a long time to improve.
Man, when there's a Cleo on both sides,
opponents
feel like you're gonna have a 50% win rate.
But
I'm just crunching the math.
Increase relatively quickly in those stats, so then we decided to make that call and get it into the main patch. So although this would be something you'd normally see in the bonus, just calling out that there are a few nerfs, or I guess this is the only nerf. Oh no, there's some item adjustments that, you know, were kind of feel like they might have gone in bonus too, but moving those to the main patch for various reasons.
Cool.
Yeah, just important to keep an eye on those stats to make sure that everything kind of, you know, sits in the right spot at the end of the day.
It's all about, again, that fine line. I'll say it 100 times. It's hard to walk on, but that's why we have all this data. That's why we take all the feedback. So next up, we have Nija getting a buff as well to Ring Toss. And it seems kind of like there's a lot of stuff going on with Ring Toss. So let's get into it, Ajax.
Whoa. Yeah, so this is a lot of text for a relatively simple change.
Okay.
Really, we're just increasing the damage for the first target hit by Ring Toss. The idea with Neja is that when Ring Toss bounces, it's really strong. Bounces between two gods, they both get hit a bunch of times, is really strong.
Sure.
But if you're in a one-on-one situation in the jungle, when you're playing as Neja and you try to hit an opponent with it, it doesn't do that much. A significant part of its power is in the bouncing. So we're just trying to offset that a little bit. So the first target that gets hit, just the first target the first time, additional bounces and other bounces are still going to be doing the same damage and the same reduced damage, but just that first target is going to be doing an increased base and scaling, a pretty significant scaling change from 20% to 40%. So that first target hit going to be really feeling it this time.
Got it. I will watch out for 1v1s with Neja.
He's not an assassin that you see going around wreaking havoc
getting
currently.
A buff to Berserker's Barrage. So it looks like this might be a revert even. What's going on here, Lermy?
Yes, so this is actually a revert from when Thor was one of the best assassins back in the day.
I see a ton of Thor
we're
Ivy.
kind of taking a look at the stats and seeing that, you know, this is the jungler meta, but Thor isn't really performing as strong as he probably should.
It's definitely crazy to me that we went with the option of not nerfing jungle items and buffing the junglers that aren't meta.
Because this is really doing the first part of the clear. These are the
we really did pull the full 180 on me on this batch.
So that's going to feel a lot better.
This is what they call a gamer moment, I suppose.
Damage in late game team fights. If you're hitting those multi-man ultimates and you slam it down the Berserker's Barrage on multiple people, you'll be feeling that extra bit of damage.
No nerf, only buff.
Oh yeah.
I'm terrified of feeling that extra little bit of damage. Awesome. Sounds good. Looks like next up we have Zeus getting a buff to Aegis Assault, and this looks kind of fun. What explain it, Ajax?
We are very excited to bring this one to you. Zeus has been a large debate topic in the balance community for many years. Aggro has brought many pitches across the desk of the balance team.
They're doing the thing!
The council for Zeus changes many occasions. The design team's been
somebody break the glass, break it in case of emergency, break it!
And testing things for Zeus for a long time. This is the one we're most excited about recently.
Wow.
Zeus will now gain
an attack speed
and attack speed buff as soon as he throws his shield in Aegis Assault. So
man.
This gives him back a little bit of that mobility.
That attack speed buff is crazy.
As well as gives him an attack speed bonus, which plays really well with Aegis Assault's deployed form, where you can get the the radiate.
That's a huge buff.
And the fact that Zeus can actually stack quite a bit of basic attack damage through his passive.
Yeah, he can.
His charges stack up. So
like a lot.
Almost pushing him a little bit towards Mage ADC, which we think Zeus actually could be really fun to have as a fringe option in that role. Probably not going to be an actual thing for him, but it gives you some possibility of that. Looking also to see this improve him more in Conquest, where the movement speed is really important.
That's literally a huge buff.
His Aegis Assault can improve his clear speed quite a bit. We didn't want to just
very
buff his
intimidating.
big AoE damage. That's what he already does really well. This god still performs extremely well, by the way, everywhere in Smite, except high-level Conquest. So we really did try to focus this buff towards just those more competitive Conquest players. Will those competitive Conquest players now play Zeus? I don't know, but I hope they give it a try.
I'll be excited to see
your
it.
boy will certainly be trying
come out of that. So Next up, Poseidon getting a buff as well. It kind of looks like across the board. Tidal Surge, Trident, Whirlpool, Kraken, a whole bunch of stuff.
I feel like
so,
if you buff
let's get
Zeus
into it,
and Poseidon, you also have to buff
so
Hades,
basically
otherwise
across
that's
the board
rude.
for Poseidon, we're taking that cost down for his Tide on his various abilities. And so for those unversed with Poseidon's passive, if you have a certain amount of Tide build up and you use an ability, that ability gets bonus damage, basically. So we're taking down how much Tide you actually need to use for all of those abilities to get the trigger, which has both.
Ooh, that's a big Trident
the
cooldown
dual function
buff right
of
there.
You'll be able to get that burst of damage a little bit more often,
Wow.
and you'll be able to
And
hang on to a
damage.
bit
Wow.
more movement speed after you've used those abilities.
It's a big Trident
so that's
buff.
point number one. Point number two, though, is that Trident's cooldown is going
It's a large
down
buff.
pretty significantly. At least on the first early part of it, it's going from 20 to 16 at rank 1, but it's still staying at 12 at max rank. So, you know, that late game Poseidon's not getting any better in that regard, but we're also giving it just a smidge more magical power scaling on those extra hits that you get from the from using Trident. So
It's a respectable
maybe even
Poseidon
a little
buff.
flex ADC that way. Who knows?
Another
I mean,
mage
we're seeing a
ADC
lot
maybe,
of
yeah.
mage
Oh,
ADC
yeah.
possibilities here in our future, but
Wow.
we're hoping that this gives Poseidon
That's actually
at
a
least a little
fairly
bit more
large buff.
consistency when
That's
it comes
fairly
to
large.
being able to be the
He's also a
zoom
premier
mage
Smite
that we're all
farmer.
familiar with.
In a farm meta right now,
Awesome. That sounds fun. Yeah, excited.
he's
to see.
really
I can't
good
wait
at
for the
getting
Zeus
XP. He's
Poseidon,
one of the premier
mage
farmers
ADC
up with like
matchup,
Raw and
like
James.
closed
that'll be a
beta.
show.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, what
that'll
a
be very
throwback.
interesting.
Yeah.
Really? All right, looks like Amuz and Cobb is getting a buff as well to Stinger. So what's happening with Stinger, Ajax?
Yeah, this is a very interesting god to buff. He
Whoa.
has fairly high ability damage.
Whoa.
He doesn't have mobility, but he's got his movement speed from his
That's
hives, which is an
thick.
insane number of stats. Been a difficult one to adjust for a while now. We were starting looking
Slow
at Stinger and trying to
and
make sure it had
protection
more
reduction?
applications. Stinger right now is a good, just damage source. You can throw it relatively quickly, and you can use it to make big trades in one-on-one scenarios.
A slow
but it
cripple
lacked a lot of
physical
utility.
protection.
What we're going to add to it is a
Burst.
slow and a prot shred
That's a lot.
to the target who is hit by the Stinger. This is going to allow Amuz and Cobb to now self-peel for himself with the slow. So if you've got a warrior really up in your face, you can't get rid of him. Now you can hit the Stinger. Previously, they'd just ignore that thing. They'd run right at you. They don't care. But now they know that prot shred and slow, that's going to slow them down. Same with Guardians. And, potentially this could make the turn the tide of difference in those one-on-one scenarios between assassins
Could
and hunters. as
turn
well.
the
So
tide of difference for
really
whether
spicy
AMC's
buff
meta
here
or not.
for the buzzing
To be
bee
honest.
Bees are scary and they should be feared. So yeah, here we are. Looks like next up, my boy Xbal, as I've recently decided to call him, is getting a buff as well to kind of just a general buff, but also to branching bolas. So
Should have known when he got
what's
that new skin.
Yeah, a lot of this was to
Base
kind of up his
power,
consistency
base
in laning,
attack.
leaning more into
Whoa,
his
1 to
unique
1.5
auto-attacking
on the
style.
base attack
Basically,
speed
we're
per
bringing up
level.
his base stats to kind of match a
Whoa.
little bit more closely with other hunters. He previously had some
That's
of
a
the
huge
lowest attack
increase.
speed scaling in the game, so we wanted to bring that up per level just a little bit at a time. And also, Bolas doing a little bit more damage as well. We previously had that 35%
And increase the
at
damage
40,
number.
And when that
Wow.
was the case, that character was
Wow.
absolutely insane. So we want to kind of temper that a little bit by bringing it up halfway. So hopefully he will
Those are
be
some-
buffable, but not
Those are some
again
big
totally
sheeple buffs.
busted. Breaking the stats board kind of deal. We want to just make sure he feels a lot more consistent when you're hitting
Buffing
those
base
auto
stats
attacks,
on hunters
and that you're actually feeling like you're
affects
doing
their
a lot more
gameplay
damage.
like crazy.
Awesome.
Check cherry.
Looks like next up, Xing Chain is getting a buff as well. Furious Roar, Hook Slam, Sky Cutting Axe, just lots of buffing going around. Let's talk it, Ajax.
The Furious Roar buff is very strange. For whatever reason, it was 3% twice at the last few ranks. Just making sure that scales up normally. There probably
Okay.
was a reason for it. I can't remember what it was, so I do
'Cause
apologize.
it's a
So he's
strong
getting
ass
small late game
ability?
buff on that ability.
Probably.
We're also looking at his mana
Would be
costs.
my
The
theory.
god does run out of mana relatively quickly, especially hoping that we can see him more in the duo lane. We know that he can play solo, but we're looking for more aggression and more warriors in the solo lane. So with this buff, we're hoping we can see him come back to the duo lane with lower mana costs, whereas in solo lane you have the blue buff. So you don't care.
Kind of funny. He says it's kind of funny because he said all this stuff, and all I could think was,
and setup ability outside
this
of
is a
his
good
ult.
solo lane
Had
Jing
a
Chad buff.
Very long cooldown, 18 seconds. probably because when
kinda funny.
Xingqian released, this god was an absolute monster. It was extremely highly performing, so a few numbers were still lingering there from those old days, but now that people have lots of tools to deal with him, he's been adjusted in many other ways, feels very safe to go ahead and buff that to a more reasonable number. So more consistent CC, not running out of mana, we might have a new meta support option on our hands.
Really feel like
check,
that does
check,
help
and
him
hey,
more in the solo
I mean,
lane
Krang skin
than it
play
does in
Krang,
support. But
so
Don't call it a
super
Krang
excited for
buff.
that. Yeah,
it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
All right. Looks like the final part of the normal balance for gods in this patch is Guan Yu getting a buff to Taolu Assault. So
No.
what's
No.
with that, Lermy?
No.
Yeah, Guan Yu is historically a
No.
very high
Bad.
skill cap god if you really want to hit the
Bad high
uber
res.
pinnacle min-max of his passive.
Never.
So we want to just make it a
Never
little bit
buff
easier
Taolu
for him
Assault.
to survive those
It's
kind
a
of
firm
rough
Smite
early
rule.
game fights that he has, and so we're giving Taolu Assault his
Never
main
buff
clear ability
Taolu
a little
Assault.
bit of cooldown just to make sure that he has an easier time in lane. And honestly, this buff might look a little bit bigger than it actually is, because you have to remember that Taolu Assault doesn't go on cooldown until it finishes its charge. So as long as he's spinning, he's not counting down. Once he's done, he's going to be counting down from 13 seconds now instead of 15 seconds.
Awesome. Sounds good. So that is it for the normal balance, but that's not all of the balance. We have one more big key.
Thought the first Smite rule
feature
was
left
never
in
buff the
balance
Zeus.
for 811,
That's
and
true.
That is Bastet is getting a rework.
Broke that one too.
And,
Oh,
I
we
mean,
are
there's
getting the
just-
best
there's all
everywhere.
kinds of things to talk about.
Are we
here.
doing it?
Ajax,
Oh,
I'll start with
They
you. but
actually
we also
did
get to
it.
see in game,
I thought they
so
forgot
take
about
away.
it, honestly.
Okay, so yes, Bastet, we tried to rework once, but we feel
I think
like
they're
the
specifically
ultimate didn't really
just
hit the mark.
reworking
It
her
was
ulti,
effective.
I
We saw her
think.
win rate go up quite a bit, actually, but people generally found it, lacking inspiration and being unexciting. This god has a very all-in ability playstyle, and the god is very good at jumping in, bursting someone down, and jumping out, right? But
She's
we wanted
actually
to
a
give
pretty
her,
good
with this
god right
rework, more flexibility in her fighting, more options, more ways to impact the team fight, and we also wanted to
Okay.
give her,
I mean,
more.
her
flair.
1, 2,
We
and
didn't
3
wanna
do
run into
seem
that
to be
same
the
case where
exact
the ability
same,
ultimately just
so-
didn't feel that exciting anymore. So what we have here are 3 major changes. They are a completely new passive,
Okay.
a completely new ultimate,
Yep.
and significant buffs to ability 2 Razor Whip.
Okay.
So as we see, we've got our Pon demo driver here using just some various
Wow,
abilities
that's
to
some
show about the new
sustain.
passive, which is called Night Stalker, which Bastet gains a physical lifesteal and ability lifesteal when hitting enemies. So she just gets free lifesteal and ability lifesteal.
Wow, that's strong.
This does more lifesteal to gods than it does to minions. And also, when she deals damage to an opponent, she applies a debuff to them that reveals them to Bastet for a significant amount of time.
Okay.
That's the new passive. So you get vision on vision on enemies damage and free lifesteal.
Okay.
Ability lifesteal, which is really cool.
Yep, if we
I'll
go
put that all
kind
in
of
sustain.
tangent off to the 2 a second, we can kind of talk about the changes to that one
Ability
as well.
life steal strong.
So basically before, it's honestly the same ability, but it's being sped up
Yeah.
a little bit. Before the description said that it would be ticks every second
was
for
very
4 seconds, but that
slow.
actually wasn't true. The tooltip was a little bit misleading. The FX would actually play for 4 seconds, but you'd really be taking a tick at 0 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, and 3 seconds. So now we're basically bringing that down 1 second more. So we are having ticks every 0.66 seconds. So it's still the same amount of ticks, except it's going to be going up until 2 seconds. So you'll be taking 4 ticks within 2 seconds.
Okay. So quicker damage, faster on the
It's gonna
blade.
feel much better. It's gonna be much more responsive and a lot faster. in
Good.
general.
Whoa.
So then we finally
Whoa,
have
that's a
the
thick
ultimate,
targeter.
a brand new
Whoa.
ultimate called the Huntress of Bast. Previously we had the Guardians, now we have the Huntress. So why don't we just show it off first before I say anything?
Oh, no.
There you go.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Long-ranged skill shot
Not
pull
during
on an
sweeps
assassin.
week.
kind of crazy, something that we've never really seen in Smite. You know, we've got Sylvanas who can pull people. He's a guardian. I'm sure there are some of our dedicated old school players who are thinking this back to
Arachne.
Closed beta Arachne, who had an ultimate that was a pull.
It goes, don't you dare go through walls.
We looked at this one as a way to complement the rest of Bastet's kit. She can jump in on people, but what else can she do, right? So this gives her a lot of interesting options.
I'm a Bastet main.
Engage a fight.
They gave me my Arachne ult back.
Use this to chase someone down after a fight as a long-range follow-up when they think they're about to escape. And she can actually use this ability in close range. And this ability, as you notice, the targeter has a small line in it in close range. If you hit enemies in this very close range, you'll actually get this very, instant hit because it's a projectile, but you'll get a different giant cat animation that just applies a stun and doesn't do the pull. It just hits them with the stun. So she's now got essentially an additional hard CC that's very confirmable.
It's too late, Smoke. I've gone to the dark side.
CC immunity while firing.
Incon,
lots of flare. A giant spectral cat running across the battleground, picking up peoples and carrying them back to you. We thought was about as exciting as we could get with her giant cats. So hopefully players see that as, a very interesting new ability for Bastet. Learn me anything I missed about
They finally gave me my Bastet or my Arachne pull down. They just gave it to Arachne.
Fires that there's this small deployable on the ground where they're going to land, and if they actually get pulled all the way back to Bastet, they do spawn that small, I guess it's a sandstorm, more or less, and so that is a vortex.
No.
Coming through. So, hey, Vulcan Bot, what's up?
Someone gave that Vulcan AI.
He is angry. He does not like it.
Oh, there he goes.
That's what happened.
Vulcan said, no! Bad buff!
But yeah,
I gotta kill it! I gotta kill it before I can get to the live servers! I'm trying! He tried to save us!
That mark on the ground. They don't follow you over the wall. They go to that mark that you see right there.
Yes, that's a great point. So that we do bring it back to the from fired location, and we do have a marker there to remind you where that's going to be. This can also be cleansed. Obviously, you can beads this. You won't be you'll just you'll escape the cat's clutches, or you can beads it as the stun attack is happening. The cat will not pick you up if you beads it quick. So if you beads the stun, you'll also beads the pulse. It's not like you have to wait for any weird timing to actually wait for it. You can just go ahead and beads this as soon as you're hit.
Oh man!
Yeah, so really interesting ability, really interesting effect, big projectile, which are just super fun in Smite, and this one just does something that no other big projectile in Smite does.
It's new. It looks great, and I'm excited for all the fun plays. I can't
be
wait to use this as an escape
interesting.
mechanism, hit them with it, then jump over them and just bail. So that'll be so fun.
Oh, it's also CC immune.
Awesome.
I didn't pay attention.
Thank y'all for showing us that. I'm excited.
That's a huge buff too. CC immunity.
Again,
wow.
That's the last of the balance. This is all going live.
Kitty Cat strong.
Update dropping November 16th, so y'all can see it then. You'll also be able to try it in PTS, but we'll get to that later. So that is super cool. Next up, we have the skins coming with the 8.11 update. But let's get some SWC and some HRS hype. Let's get into that. See y'all in a second.
Well, Bastet's looking pretty strong, y'all. Okay. The thing's gonna be in every game. Yes, it is.
Hello, Smite fans, and welcome back.
Paul?
Before we get into this, obviously, got two new friends here with me. Got Hi-Res Honey and Paul from PC. How are y'all doing? Thank you for being
hello.
here.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, dude?
Paul, what are you doing here?
Amazing. Couldn't be happier
Should
to be
you be,
here.
like,
Couldn't be
scrimming
happier
or
to have
something?
y'all with me. Excited to get into this. If y'all want a quick introduction real quick before we dive into all this fun stuff, Honey, how about you go ahead?
Hey everyone, I'm Hi-Res Honey. I am the newest community specialist for Smite, and I'm just so excited to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Happy to have you. Yeah.
I play mid for the Titans in SPL. That's kind of it, to be honest.
You say that like it's a small thing, but that's not a small. I mean, people know
What is
Paul,
Paul
so
even
super
doing
excited
here?
to have you here. So to start off this section, actually, just going to give some info about High-Res Showcase and the Smite World Championships because those are coming up. We're working our way there. Time is flying. First off, we have a schedule that we can actually share with y'all here. So here's a picture of kind of what things are going to look like. So this is stuff that we're gonna get out to y'all. But this is what it's going to look like. We have Smite World Championship taking place Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going on. It's going to be great. But within that, we also have that Thursday, the High-Res Showcase, which is going to have all of the high-res titles there.
You'll get to see Slash
we have all kinds of great
on the
things going
showcase,
on, including a cosplay contest, which is currently active, and we're running
you get to see
through
the
it.
Season
So if
9
y'all are
update
interested
show
in
on that
entering this
day.
cosplay contest, you have until December 1st to create your cosplay and submit the form. So you still got some time. We're not last minute, but definitely want to get on it. And once you have that in, after the 1st, we're going to move into calls with judges. We're going to move into finalist selection. That's kind of throughout December. And then during the High-Res Showcase, that Thursday on the 6th of January, we're going to have the cosplay show. So make sure if y'all want to enter, y'all get in there. And if you just want to see a bunch of amazing cosplays, that y'all are ready for the show come January.
Okay.
So again, plenty of time, but always better to be ready. So let's get into some of these skins. So the first up, we have the digital loot pack coming with 8R11, and we have Elkin Ternunos. Let's see what that looks like.
It's pretty much always a digital loot pack.
Ooh, I love that.
It's like
pretty neat.
I like how
strangely realistic Ternunos.
I don't know. It's a good contrast.
I love the armor.
Agreed.
Never mind.
Wow, looks even better in game. The scared little wolf.
Oh dear.
What a role reversal to have a scared wolf and the terrifying deer.
He's a deer now, man.
Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be a goat?
Right?
Oh, an elk.
Who let the dog get into the drugs again?
So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh God, he looks like Incon. Somebody help him.
Let's hear what he sounds like.
Paul, why'd you let him into your
forest?
There it is. His duty is to the forest. Yeah. Awesome. So next up we have Season 8 Morgan Le Fay. Let's see what this looks like. Speaking of regal, wow.
Okay.
Absolutely. I love, obviously,
He's slightly
dethroning
nervous.
somebody because she's wearing her crown. She just took that crown from whoever she thought did.
She's what? Dethroning. Wow.
Terrible. Yeah, right. Let's see what it looks like in game. Let's see. Oh, in the tournament.
Wow.
Anyway. Beautiful.
Dude, it's so purple, man.
Yeah, really, it is.
Didn't hear the same thing.
The color of royalty. Yes.
True.
Love her sword.
Purple, blue.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, the sword is great looking too. I always love her swords. Let's hear what she sounds like.
I spent years, decades planning my revenge. They are not prepared.
I don't feel prepared. So, fair.
It's not good. It's not just me, right? It's not good. It's not a good
So next
skin.
up, we have a pretty big
Bad.
one. I'm excited
It's not
for this.
good.
Divine Wind Gilgamesh is up next, and whew, now that's a Gilgamesh.
Oh my god,
Now that's a
sick.
skin.
Right?
Thank you, Paul.
I love are those like wings?
Oh,
yes, they are.
Yes.
But
They look so good.
That's incredible.
This is ginormous.
I
Dude,
know,
yeah, it is a
right?
massive skin.
Bro, how are you gonna see?
You don't need to see when you look this good. I heard that we get to look
Paul
at this one
immediately
in-game,
going into the
this one has some
gameplay
special stuff to it.
implications.
So let's check it
How
out.
are you
in-game
gonna
real
see?
quick. Yeah, look at those wings. Those are huge. That's awesome. Oh, I love the solar flare. That's so pretty looking, and how the wings
Touch the
flare out
quest.
when he uses it. That's great.
Touch the quest.
Yes.
Touch it.
Like
It looks
the
cool.
different
Touch
colored
it.
Flames
Dude,
too.
spinny.
Really nice.
Yeah, is that the drop kick?
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Go to the
Spin.
light.
Yeah.
Where's the jump, dude?
Right. Yeah. What's the jump?
Use the wings.
Dropkick's pretty cool, but okay.
Ooh,
all right, fair
nice.
enough.
I love how much the wings are worked into all these abilities.
Paul's like, no,
they
but
really have a
seriously.
life.
Oh, Vulcan out of
Hey,
nowhere.
look, Vulcan's back.
Uh-oh.
I love that Vulcan keeps coming back for his revenge.
See ya.
It was a close fight.
I love it.
Awesome.
Cool.
I love like the
Vulcan takes no prisoners.
Oh wow.
Wow, that
Even cooler
is.
when you're in it.
I know, right?
That is an overwhelming amount of
Yeah,
effects on
passive.
that. That is very hard to
I hate
see,
that it's cooler when you're
actually.
inside of it because instead of escape, I'm gonna want to like, I don't know, take in the sights and get.
Just hang out, take some damage.
That's definitely got a little
That is absolutely awesome.
pay to win on it for sure. It's already banned with the
Let's head one more
SPL.
time
Right
before we go
there,
back.
like 8 messages are already
I
being
guess
sent
headbutt
over
is
to the
really the drop
coordinators.
kick, but yeah.
Already banned in the SPL.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, dude. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
a skin.
All right, so that's a good one. So this next one is one that Paul, I have a feeling you might be a little excited about. I don't know, just a guess. We have Pittsburgh Knights.
Oh,
That's why Paul's here.
dude, that's
I mean, what
Pittsburgh Knights.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I mean, world champion skin. Here it is. Scylla looking amazing, rocking the colors. And we figured since we thought you might like this one, just a guess, we figured have you here and show it off in game
nice,
in a minute.
dude.
But look at how pretty
So
that looks.
shiny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm so
that
spoiled,
gold.
man.
The last
I got PK Scylla,
legal
dude. We got the
obligation
Merlin skin
to
for
their
SK, dude.
organizations to
Oh,
get the skin in the
boy.
game.
Dude, it's gold.
Their last legal
It's
ops.
so gold. Yeah. Let's go in game. I mean, you deserve to see it in game, I think. So let's check it out. Oh, that's awesome. The gold looks so good.
Oh, you got
that's
the knights
great.
emblem. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's cool. Watch the corner, okay.
That is so. I love the logo. That is so great.
They definitely.
And the dog is just a lion, I guess.
Yeah.
They definitely put as much effort into this skin
So there you go. I mean, that's what
as
happens.
they put into keeping the organizations in
high-pitched, the
Smite,
voice.
for sure.
Yeah. The
An
pentakill.
equal amount of effort.
Pentakill.
That is super awesome. So yeah,
pretty neat.
excited to see that one in action. Again, November 16th. So super cool though, and they get World Championship skin. So all
Yeah.
of that, all of those skins we just saw, are actually part of the digital loot pack. That digital loot pack, which you can get in game, also comes with the Divine Wind avatar. It comes with Fountain Skin, Elkin Level Up, a player title, and a chest roll. And I mean, just so many things, including all of those skins, which are super great. And that digital loot pack will be available in game for 1,500 gems with the release of this update. But that's not all. If you liked everything you saw there and are like, man, I
We'll
want
throw
even
it a
more
set of
awesome
steak
stuff,"
knives. Come
you can
on.
actually get the SWC swag bundle. This is an amazing bundle. It's
swag
actually
bundle.
on sale right now as we're talking. It went on sale technically today, so y'all can go pick it up. But that comes with an original art postcard, the Smite World Championship hat that you can see there, the SWC zip up hoodie, which is awesome. It has the SWC logo and then all the different like roles. And you'll also get the Season 8 wall flag signed by SPL players, and that will come with the digital loot pack. So this is $60. It's on sale right now. You get all of that stuff, and if you get the actual swag bundle, you will get a digital code that you can redeem in-game.
They've got the SPL boys in the office right now,
plus all that other
just
stuff.
factory
Avatars,
signing
fountain
all
skin,
these.
everything.
Sign it.
So
Ship
make
it.
sure you
Sign
get
it.
these. They are
Ship it
limited
right
number,
down the
so you
line.
gotta
They've got a
make sure you act
factory line of
fast. You know,
SPL players.
if you
Sign,
want
ship,
one,
sign,
don't
ship.
sit on it. You got to get in there and get them before they're gone. But yeah, it's
Hi-Rez,
just
my
worldwide,
hand hurts.
So
Sign
don't
the
be afraid
poster.
to get it, regardless of where you live. If you're excited for Smite World Championships, get the gear, get the hype, get all of those awesome skins as well. I mean, I'm super excited about it. I'm excited. I'm gonna wear that hat literally all the time. So again, make sure you get
this
on
is
that.
Paul's break from signing. He's like, please, yes, I'll be on the patch note show, please.
Buy them.
Paul
Buy
said
them
it.
all, dude.
His skin. Yeah, you see that skin in there? He knows what he's talking about. He's obviously Smite brain.
Got
So
good
awesome.
taste.
Make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all check that out. Again, available today for pre-order. You'll get everything in, and then again when the update goes live, you'll get all that
You
stuff
sign a
in-game
no
too.
jungle
So
nerf.
don't miss your chance because again, limited supply.
We'll nerf Spectral
let's
again,
move
so
on. We
help
have
me.
More skins actually to talk about. Lots of cool skins. So the Odyssey in 8.11 will bring 2 new skins. One of which is plushie Tiamat. So let's see what Tiamat's looking like.
So cute. So cute.
There's a lot of potential in this game.
I love the little eyes are just and the little teeth.
The skin, man.
I mean, right?
It's kind of horrifying, actually. It's kind of not cute at all. It's kind of just scary.
I don't know how they come up with this stuff, dude.
I mean, I agree. I totally agree. I absolutely love it. All the little buttons and everything, and I bet all of our little minions are so adorable too. Like, it's gonna be annoying
Cute
when
but
you're being hit
deadly.
by like the little lizards. but
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. Yeah, the minions, dude.
Yeah.
Oh boy, dude.
Super pumped. Let's hear the voice line. Let's hear what it sounds like.
Buttons, check. Bows, check. Cuteness, big check. All right, world, it's Tiamat's time.
Oh, but that's you. I mean, of course
It
you're a
is
girl
Tiamat
dragon.
That's so great. All right,
Big
next
check
up
for
we have
cuteness.
Oni. Oh yeah, double check. Next up we have Oni Ronin on her. So let's see what the on her drip. Ooh, that looks good.
Okay.
And he looks massive. Look at like the little people in the foreground. That's horrifying.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Different.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I love the fireballs above the head.
Yeah.
So great.
I was just about
Yeah,
to
it's
say
like
that.
a flame crown.
Oh, what the heck? He's fire, dude.
He is just like fire. Yeah.
That's not Agni, man. It's on her.
True. You're right. It is gonna be tricking people out. I love it, and the blue too. Let's hear what the voice line sounds like.
I can taste the thrill of battle.
It's legal in Georgia. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
The fire can taste. All right. So last but not least, we have the Winter Wonderland chest, and this one has a Ginger Dread Baba Yaga. So let's see Baba.
Oh. Oh, that's sick, dude.
That is sick. You got the.
It's like.
Oh.
What do you say?
No, I was just gonna say, look at the like little gingerbread man stuck to the house back there.
This is also
Oh yeah,
not
I didn't
Agni.
notice that, dude. It's right in
Dude.
the back.
Yeah.
Dude, it reminds me of that fairy tale, dude, with like the witch in the house or whatever, and it like lures the kids in or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
exactly
maybe those
it,
vibes
yeah.
right now.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Lady
dying.
Apple on her staff.
I'm dying.
Dude,
Oh, I
the
didn't
pot's
even
got
see
a
that.
thing on it. Oh, it's an oven. It is, dude. It's trying to eat the kids. It's trying to eat the kids.
I'm literally hitting my desk. I'm dying.
And that staff is the staff is a kitchen utensil.
Yeah, what is it, a whisk, I think? Dude, that's great.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so good. Let's hear the voice line.
Try some of my cookies.
Oh,
They're
man.
to die for.
Dude.
Oh god.
Incredible.
Yeah, like you said, she's
That's
trying
good
to
stuff.
I mean, yeah.
That's not Agni, dude.
All right. Well, that does it for the skins in the normal update. Obviously, we have something else to talk about here in just a second, but I want to thank y'all. Thank you, Paul, for being here and for checking out those skins.
He's getting
with us.
messages in his
I
ear.
guess we'll,
You gotta get him off the stage.
Yeah, guess we'll see you later. in
You
Smite, but,
gotta get him out.
Next up, let's check out some Transformers. We'll see y'all in a second.
Okay.
Peace through tyranny.
Oh man, that was excellent. Truly. love that he encourages people to smash that Twitch Prime. Rate this patch so far. This patch is all over the place. All over the place. It is. Yeah, there's some highs and some lows.
Welcome back, Smite fans and friends and everybody. You can see we have Melgo Animate here with us. How you doing, Mel?
What's good? What's good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Right on, yeah.
I love that. The Optimus Prime hat, too. That's looking great.
You like that? Dude, this was my newborn son. I had somebody commissioned somebody to make a little Optimus Prime hat for him. That's how big of a Transformers fan I was.
Aww.
I had to kind of like imprint it on my kids. You know what I'm saying?
That is so great. So before we start, you want to introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll dive into the fun.
Yeah. So my name is Mel. I'm actually the Smite outsourcing manager. But I work very closely with the internal Smite team on this. Well, with the entire team on the Transformers Battle Pass. So yeah, it's me. Hi.
Okay. Hi.
Awesome.
I don't really know what that means.
Super excited to have you, and super excited to talk about.
I still don't know what you do, but hello.
First up, we're just gonna dive right into the Battle Pass. We have Optimus Prime Geb. So let's see it.
Oh, there he is.
I love that.
My man.
Such a great, and just, I mean, what else is there to say other than it's amazing? That's Optimus Prime.
Yeah, it doesn't get more iconic than that. You know, he's the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, look at that. The way, like, when he converts into the truck,
that's
so
the Geb skin,
cool.
so you can roll around like a truck.
I'm gonna have to become a Geb main just to do that like 1,000 times. That change of form is so great.
Yeah.
So let's start out by hearing a voice line real quick. Let's hear what he sounds like.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Okay.
I am Optimus Prime.
Oh, I got chills.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, straight chills.
Literally shaking with excitement. You know, I don't think that's enough Optimus Prime. Let's go in game. We have to see this in game. Oh, it looks
the
there
iconic silhouette. Yes. There's no mistaking him for anybody else.
The rollout is good.
No, you couldn't. I totally agree.
Oh, that's cool. It's a gun. That's cool.
The sound effects.
Shield looks epic.
The ability sound effects sound so good.
I love the way that converting into the truck
Vulcan!
and the way that like it shows.
He's back again. Vulcan, no, live.
The way the trailer comes in.
Oh, the Vulcan's also indestructible.
The trailer just kind of like,
let's go.
Like teleports in. Or
epic battle.
in. It's so sick.
Yeah.
Two indestructible gods. No. Vulcan!
That's right. We're gonna keep Vulcan cannot hold us down. We're gonna beat Vulcan every time. That is so great. So let's. I want to see the ult so bad.
Best skip skin. Ooh!
Oh,
that is so satisfying.
It is so satisfying, and fans will note that what he's holding up there is the Matrix of Leadership. So. Really trying to be true. Really trying to get that one in there for the fans. So
yeah, for sure.
So cool.
Like that was a lot of our kind of like goal was to try and just call back.
Honestly,
as many things
drifting with a semi truck is pretty legit.
The fans would recognize, you know, because we are fans. Like everybody who worked on it in some way, shape, or form has been a fan of Transformers. It's been in their life for years at this point, almost 40 years. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I can speak to that truth. Even just from talking to some of the people that like worked more intimately with this, everybody has been so hype about this. It was so hard to keep a lid on this thing as long as we did. So we're hyped to show it off.
You know, he has a VXG where he just turns into a regular truck.
Is so cool.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roll out.
And then there's a different different transformation when he does his VXG.
Joke's on you guys. Y'all are all going to be playing
rollout.
Smite. I'm just going to be bringing cargo from lane to lane. I'm going to role play it just as literal truck.
Yeah, to,
it's a truck simulator.
Trailer aside.
Yeah, of course. So that is super awesome. It looks so good. And yeah, I can see what you mean too. The difference between converting to the ability and converting for the VXG is, yeah, that's awesome too. That y'all put even put
Smite trying to solve the supply chain issues.
That's just so awesome.
Vulcan!
And the sound effects and like the voice acting.
Our boy is back.
Love everything about it. I can't stop talking about it.
He's on the hunt.
The flames coming out the top, dude. Oh god, that's so good.
Again, there's like every time we do a battle pass like this, I get new mains. I become a new main for a new god every time. So
like those are your key details too for gameplay, right? So like the trailer comes in and then the flames kick on. Like those are key details that you know when Geb is like at full speed. I believe that's when they're timed for. So it's just not a nice little subtle nods that we could raise the cool factor on these skins, you know, but then also have it work for gameplay.
Yeah, and that's awesome to hear. I mean, it's crazy how much detail goes into all of this. There's the gameplay side and the aesthetic side, and then there's just the fan side, where you just want to squeeze every ounce of awesome that you can into something as cool as this. So this is incredible. Love to see it.
Incredible work.
So
seriously.
Yeah. What was that?
Feeling that throwback
really
to big ties. I got some big ties.
Yeah.
He's just
folks coming down the road.
Spewing that COT.
Say, good lord.
It's the battleground. They have bigger problems right now. Awesome. So next up in this battle pass, we actually have Starscream Jingwei. So ooh, that looks so good.
Look at that.
So excited
bastard.
for this.
Yeah, look at that, the smirk on his face. I love it so much.
You could tell he just took a pot shot at somebody and he's really happy and proud of himself.
Yeah.
Scumbag. I love Starscream.
Look at him. How could you not? Oh, look at that conversion.
You see how sick that conversion is?
Good. Yeah, I couldn't not. My eyes could close. I could just feel it.
That was so difficult. Like, I mean, it was difficult. Okay, don't get me wrong, it was difficult because there's never been anything like that in Smite before where we've like converted into something completely different, you know, and then so seamlessly.
Yeah. I mean, it is just absolutely seamless. It looks great. Let's hear what Starscream sounds like. I want to hear the voice.
A new age is upon us. I nominate myself as your leader.
Wow.
Love it.
Very smug.
Yeah.
You know, we're Transformers hype. Let's go in game. Let's see this in game.
People with keen ears would be able to tell who the voice actor is for that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Does in fact.
We have voice actors from the most
fly
recent
through the
show,
air.
actually. So these are the voices. Like these are. That's it. Like that's why probably one of the reasons they sound as amazing as they do is we're being very true to the characters here.
Those autos are
that
sick.
passive with the converting to the jet to fly out of base and so clean.
Super clean. Oh my gosh. Look at
Oh, that looks so good.
Those conversions are
good. It's real
seamless.
good.
Like
I can't
it's
tell
real
you
smooth.
The amount of like hard work the animation team, the rigging team, like everybody put into to make this like as smooth and seamless as possible it's highly commendable, and I just it shows, and I hope everybody can appreciate, like everybody who like all the fans can just appreciate how incredible it is.
I mean, and it's just watching every time it converts. Again, it seems so true because the movements they have those like jumping in and actually having to get into that conversion. It's not instant. It's not like it has that conversion.
So far,
period,
so good.
but it's so seamless from the actual regular movement that I can't stop watching it. And these sound effects are so clean.
Yeah, there's only 3 skins, right? There's 3 skins, and then there's like 3 recolors.
That is exclusively how I'm traveling the map. I'm going to.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh god. That's what happens. You convert into the jet and you fly across the
and
map.
you move at you move at Mach 5. It's just
Yeah.
Super speed.
I love that when he laughs when you do the ultimate. He does that evil Starscream laugh. It's so good.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. I'm super excited to see this end game and play this end game. So next up, in the Transformers Battle Pass,
building
we have
full movement speed,
Megatron
Jingwei just for the
Raw.
zoomies.
So let's look at that. Starscream had that smug look. Yeah, Megatron is angry. I absolutely love it. I love all the colors too. Like that blue backdrop is so great.
You can't like the skins until you see Vulcan attack them. Good point. Good point.
Truly a rude dude. Look at that cannon.
Oh, it is so clean.
That's a tank and a half.
Conversion to the tank.
So clean. I could just watch those all day. I can't stop being in
I
love
think
with
that snipe
every
you're
one of these
real good.
conversions. It's so nice looking.
Same. It just gets better the more you watch it.
The lines, the detail, the way it like still transforms after he gets into position. Like as he comes out of the tank and as he goes into the tank, you can see all these little pieces kind of fitting in and stuff. Like that was all on purpose. Like we had to think about like how do we want this transformation to look.
Yeah, super awesome. Let's hear what he sounds like.
I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. You will do exactly as I say.
So good.
Yeah, I think I will. All right, let's see this in game. I mean, we got to see all of them in game, obviously. All right, so
those poor Odin bots are
that
all
we might
lined
not have
up.
leveled up some abilities down there in the bar. Turns out Megatron is too strong. He's been fighting and conquering things for so long that certain abilities are currently too strong for the battleground. So we won't be able to show off
His 1 and his 3 crashed the
1
game
or the
for
3
sure.
right now, just for the sake of keeping things moving along. But look at that ult. The sound of the conversion. Look at the tank. That is so good. And I love hearing the audio every time, that conversion sound that it makes. Like,
you can't believe
the animation
Megatron
of that
broke
sound
Smite.
combined are
Unbelievable.
just
Very out
too
of
good.
character.
It makes it a whole experience.
And I know we can't show it, but when this does make it to PTS and people are looking at it, check out his line ability for a special treat. There's a little bit of an Easter egg.
Yeah, I have heard that, and since we can't show it off, I agree. I think that this should be something that, when y'all get to try it out in PTS, just keep an eye on that one ability. Maybe once you figure
Flip
it
the
out,
script, turn it into a positive, turn it into marketing quick.
Again, like a lot of these skins, it's going to be something that fans are going to really appreciate. Oh my gosh!
Epic.
Nice.
You'll notice Vulcan was too afraid to attack Megatron, so that's why. Man.
No,
Well, that is
none of that will be in the
incredible.
SPL.
I'm super excited about it, and again, these are skins that are coming out with the Battle Pass on November 16th. But we're not quite done yet. Next up, we have G1 Optimus Prime. So let's see what G1 Optimus Prime looks like.
That art is clean
and classic too. Oh,
very nostalgic.
Right? Like I'm getting tingles, you know? It's like this is just look at it.
All right, that's
like,
pretty good.
The show, it's so good.
Oh, it's like I'm 10 years old again, looking at it.
Right?
It's so good.
Back to a simpler, to a happy place. It looks super exciting.
Big salad bowl full of Cocoa Puffs in front of me.
Exactly.
In front of the TV.
Yeah, eyes literally glued to the screen, watching Optimus do his thing. Like, could not agree more. We also have a G1 Starscream, Jingwei, that we can show off. And again, just
I
look
think
at
these are
it's
all
just the art style. It's so good.
this is it's one of the double battle passes.
these
So if
little,
you
like,
want
details
these
that are a little
ones, you probably have
different,
to go through the battle pass once and then go
so
through it
good.
again. I would imagine is usually how that works. Dang, that
I
jet
like
looks
watching
cool. Like that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna brag about the conversions again. What you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say. So
The
I really like
prestige track,
like the non-prestige.
You're gonna have to
skins,
grind out a
but
lot
then like when I
of
see
Smite.
these prestige ones, I'm like,
Lot of
gaga
Smite
over them,
in order
'cause
to
it's
get
this is
all
what-
this stuff,
is-
or
it
you're
feels
gonna
like
have
home,
to. I guess you
know?
can buy
feels
it, but
warm and comfortable.
And on Megatron, and horrifying and threatening. But speaking of Megatron, we have G1 Megatron we can show off as well. Oh, and look at that. He's still angry. Yeah. Doesn't matter which version. Still angry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a Saturday morning cartoon or not. Megatron is just gonna be angry.
Yeah, he does it well. Look at I love those, like, the bold lines. They look so good.
Same. I think
Yeah,
the G1
highlights.
skins are my personal favorite.
For sure.
For sure. And it's worth noting with all of the G1 skins that the team actually had a lot of original G1 sound effects that we were given to
Is
work
this
into
the
these
last
skins.
battle pass
So
of the year?
A lot of them really will.
Probably.
They'll feel equally nostalgic as you play them because they feature actual G1 sound effects. So that'll be something to look out for as you're getting into these skins. Is not only the visual
I'm going with
appeal,
a hard
but the
yes,
audio is
actually.
going to
Now that
be
I think about it, by the
so
time it
clean.
goes live, for sure.
Nothing not to love. And that actually does it. So the Transformers Battle Pass has those skins, as well as, like every other Battle Pass, a huge array of other items you can win as you progress throughout the tracks. There's loading frames, jump stamps. There's even a loading frame that that changes based on what character you're using. So there's really a ton of work into it, and y'all should make sure to check it out. But other than that,
Converts.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that,
That's
thank
awesome.
y'all so much. Today was incredible. We had so many cool things to talk about. Some really big changes to the balance coming in 8R11, and then the Transformers Battle Pass, which we here could not be more excited about. We have been, edge of our seats for months now, making sure we had everything right for this, and it's coming soon. And even sooner to those of you who want to try out the PTS, which will be coming on Friday. So make sure y'all are ready for that. Make sure y'all are hype. We
As
want to get y'all's
always with the
feedback. We
PTS
wanna
Friday.
see what y'all think about everything,
Ish.
and hopefully we hear a lot of good news about all the skins and change. So before we leave, though, everybody, we're gonna take a step back from everything. As we close this video, we're going to go, or this update notes, we're going to go into a short video for John Finch, a memorial video that we've made, as well as a memorial change that we've added to the map. So as we close the show
they
out,
made
we want to
a
thank y'all all
map
for being
change,
here,
like
and then ask
with
all of y'all
Allied.
to join us in a respectful moment of silence as we close this show in memory of Finch. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Join us in this moment, please.
Cute. Did they end the patch notes? I guess so. That was cute. That was cute. Well, thank you guys for coming out to the stream today. As far as the patch notes go, honestly, it was kind of a roller coaster. There was some really good things, like the change to the ranked band system, which is awesome. Thank the Lord that we finally got that, which can be great for our custom games as well, so we can start using that. There was some wild changes, like deciding to nerf Spectral and not nerfing junglers, but actually buffing some junglers that weren't getting played, so that I guess there's more options in the jungle. I don't know. There were some weird executive decisions. Some were great. Some were terrible. Pretty mixed bag on this patch notes. But as always, a lot of good skins. So what are you going to do? But thank you guys for coming out to the stream. I do appreciate it. We've got SPL. Not SPL, but we've got the qualifier tournament starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday for those that are going to be watching that. So just a little reminder, you've got those for whoever qualifies for Worlds, which will be January 6th through 9th. So make sure you've got that on your calendar. And then we've got this patch upcoming. These will both be the bonus balance, and the balance will be in November. So I do hope to see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for some more Twitchin' action, guys. Hope to see you then. And as always, folks, have a Twitchin' day, y'all. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.